Under the peaceful night sky was a small home lit up with laughter of happiness. A lot of gifts placed in front of an elder couple, happy smiles on their faces upon watching their young son in law out kneeling before their daughter while presenting her a flower bouquet. It looked like a perfect family, but only Rohan knew it was all fake. None of it was real. His sister Moyen married last week to this wealthy man who seemed to be the heir of the Jones holdings. Jungkook was a young, mannered, and caring man, or so he looked like to be. After 1 week, Moyen came to visit her parents today in the village. Everyone was happy to have her back. The whole day went so well, and now at night her husband was here for dinner and to take her back. He entered dressed in a short black suit. His shoes alone were more expensive than their whole home. He entered with a lot of expensive gifts, showered the elder couple with the flowers, personally gave Rohan an Xbox, which was something he desired since forever. And when Rohan told him Wine was in the garden, backside, and would go call for her, Jungkook stopped him. Zeke, let me go see her myself. Rohan looked at his parents, who chuckled in response. Mother, look at her, so lost in stargazing. She was so hyped up all day. Zeke, it's okay, she must be tired. He patted Rohan's shoulder and stepped out. He was a charming, successful, and respectful man. A perfect man his parents could ask for his sister. They seemed too happy as they peeked out at the new couple. A flower bouquet hung down his hand as he approached Wine, who sat up and smiled at him. Jungkook knelt before her and held her hands before he placed his head on her lap. Rohan knew. Right there, his parents were satisfied. But he also knew, once they found out the truth, they will be the most heartbroken ones left behind. Jungkook held Wine's hands against his cheek after he kissed them and presented her the flowers to her after raising his head. Wine, beautiful. They coincidentally match my dress color. He shrugged and Wine looked at him suspiciously, then pulled him up to sit beside her. Wine, you're a whole hour late. I almost thought you forgot your wife. Seke, my apologies, my lady. I'll make up for it. Wine smiled and stood up, extending hand for him. Wine, let's go inside. Mom prepared a lot of dishes for you. Jungkook took her hand and let her drag her inside. Wine, I told her you eat every kind of bland food, so don't blame me if she makes you overeat or acts stingy and sends a lot of homemade dishes every other week. Her feet faltered a little, remembering their arrangement. Ah, they didn't have that much time together. She shook her head before forcing a smile. Jungkook saw the expressions clearly. He followed Wine into removing his shoes before entering the home. The family sat on the floor before the table. Rohan, old man, why would you take him to sauna? Would you find men your age? Jungkook voiced Rohan, highly guarded around him. It was understandable. He was the only one who knew the truth after all. Ryan knew all of it was temporary. That happiness on her mother's face as she kept talking about the gifts Jungkook brought and how nice he was. Their marriage itself was an arrangement, 1 month contract. Jungkook and Ryan caught in a 1 month beneficial contract marriage. Jungkook couldn't inherit his father's kingdom until the condition to be married was met, and Ryan in return was promised her father's treatment, which was currently under process. He was a dangerous man, a kind. If her parents found out, they would give their lives to shield her from. The exact man they were happy to have their daughter with right now. The mansion was an epitome of luxury. Cars lined up the garage and gold reflected the walls, but it lacked humans and any warmth. Jungkook was used to it, but Moan felt a chill run down her spine. She never knew luxury could feel this scary. Why? They are not whatever. Be prepared, they are going to mess with your heart. She grinned and excitedly rushed to his bedroom, settling onto the bed and played Vincenzo. Jungkook entered behind calmly. She was the colors in his black and white world, a kind of chance he wasn't used to. Why was he not returning home to deal with messed up business? Why was he visiting some random rotten old home in a village? JK, a mafia concealer? Are you sure it's legit and not some corny story? One, stop complaining. You need to watch it. It's actually really good and he's quite a dangerous man. Fast forward, the man entered his homeland and ended up getting robbed by a taxi driver. Jungkook had the most dumbfounded expression on his face. Wine chuckled awkwardly. Wine, it gets better, I swear. Uh, I mean, tragedy happens to everyone. JK, I would rather name it Clown Ray. He moved forward to get into a comfortable position, but Wine thought he was leaving and wrapped herself around his arm tightly, not letting him move at all. But as he sat there wasting hours watching a stupid comedy drama for hours instead of working, he wondered who decided a contract couldn't be broken? A man who has always manipulated things into his profit. What was so hard about this setup? In his 28 years of life, Jungkook doesn't remember celebrating any such thing before. He remained quiet. He didn't need to agree to it. He didn't need to break his rules. When Jungkook woke up the next morning, it was at his wife's distressed voice. He found himself in the same sitting position, but his wife now stood feet away, talking on her phone. Wine, which hospital? I'll come right away. Jungkook stepped down the bed and watched her stumble twice. Her hands trembled, but she put on a good show to look collected. It was until Jungkook held her arms. Wine, Jungkook, I need to go now. It's urgent. Upon reaching the hallway before the ER, everything turned slow motion for him. The sound of his footstep, the sound of his wife rushing over to her family at the other end, the distressed sound of her mother crying, and her brother complains. The family, who was the happiest last night, broke right before his eyes. What could he do? His phone buzzed in his pocket and he pulled it out. A flash of darkness swiped across his eyes at the text before he pocketed his phone again and moved forward. He softly pat his wife's head and entered the room. Her father was in. JK, father. He stepped forward. That warmth, that love in his eyes from last night was gone, replaced with some chill Jungkook was familiar with his whole life. Apparently, someone from the inner circle tipped his father about the arrangement of their wedding. Her father only knew Jungkook married her for inheritance, but he wasn't aware that his hospital bills were handled by Jungkook. JK, that was the arrangement. I apologize for lying. Please don't blame your daughter. He tried getting up, but immediately felt a strong pain. Jungkook stood up holding him and helped him back, only to be pushed away. Jungkook stepped back and took a seat again. JK, our father is supposed to be like this, putting their lives in danger when it comes to their children. JK, I'm sorry. I never had a father. He has always been only a dictator in my life. The only way out was to fulfill a condition before I could inherit his empire and break free from these shackles tying me down. The condition was to marry. JK, would you forgive me and give me some time? I wish to hold on to your daughter, make her stay, keep her as my wife forever, make up for my mistake and love her till my last breath. Will you continue to treat me like your son, as you did before? Jungkook wondered, was it how it felt to be scolded by her father and now getting beaten up to death just for not making strategic decisions timely? He stood up and bowed before stepping out of the room. Now was the hardest task which awaited him. Wine, who had already prepared herself for next month, the visa she applied for a foreign job which was here already, the plans she made to part ways next month and move on from him for good. To be continued.